nation this year. Congratulations. That's quite an honor for them.
Gosh, good for them. Quite a testimony from their students as well. NBC Nightly News is next, the Russian spy scandal.
We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
America's farewell to fallen heroes. The president, families, and firefighters from around the world pay tribute to 6 who died on the front lines. State secrets, a Russian spy, a bug at the State Department. Who planted it? What secrets are lost? Russia's bloody war at home, and tonight, Yeltsin's threat to the U.S. Remember Russia's nuclear weapons. And in depth, our series Holiday Online. Tonight, what you should know about the biggest internet retailer.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. The American fireman is an enduring hero, never out of fashion, and there's never been a more tragic reminder of that than what happened in Massachusetts over the weekend. 6 firemen perished in a warehouse blaze in Worcester. 4 of the bodies have not been recovered. It turned the holiday festivities into a season of mourning there and in firehouses around the world. Today, an exceptional memorial service for those heroes, drawing even the President of the United States. 50,000 firefighters in dress blues, all drawn to the city of Worcester. Some from far away, Hawaii, Australia, and Ireland. 4 full buses from New York City alone. A trainload from Connecticut. The deaths of 6 comrades killed fighting that giant warehouse fire last Friday. Thousands filed quietly into the memorial service. Thousands more gathered outside.
Everybody is a part of it, wants to be a part of it, and I just felt a need to be here.
Others watched on television, as many tried to express the thoughts for which there are never adequate words.
We cannot say enough about the valor of these 6 brave men.
They were role models for this community. They were men who stood tall. They knew their job was to save lives, whether it was a homeless person or the richest person in the world. It made no difference to them.
I know that sometimes life breaks your heart, and I believe we best honor those who have been lost. We best honor these brave men when we pledge that they will always be in our hearts and their example never die.
We hope that by our collective presence, we will speak louder than words in saying that your tragedy is ours, your men are ours, our whole country honors them and you. We grieve with you, and we will stay with you.
For the families of each man who died, medals of honor and an American flag, flags that had flown over the Capitol the day they died. Later, a procession stretching a mile, a long walk back, the scorched block where the men lost their lives, where wrecking crews still worked to clear rubble and locate the 4 bodies still missing. Then, a final moment. Everything would stop. The searchers and the mourners and the firefighters would all have their moment of silence and remembrance. And in Washington tonight, the Cold War may be over, but there are stark reminders that Russia and the United States remain fierce competitors, armed and always trying to get an advantage. The old-fashioned spy game remains very much a part of that. And NBC's Pete Williams has the latest on a bold attempt at espionage.
U.S. officials tell NBC News the secret listening device was hidden on the State Department's 7th floor, the same floor where the Secretary of State and her top deputies work. Planted, they say, in a high-level conference room, not in any official's actual office. And investigators say they caught a Russian spy standing outside the building operating the bug.
The U.S. government apprehended and detained a Russian diplomat who was gathering information
via a listening device.
Authorities say the battery-powered bug was concealed in the wall, so well hidden it could not have been casually placed during a brief visit. In fact, they say whoever hid it might have needed a second visit to finish planting it. The bug was discovered a few months ago after an FBI agent noticed the Russian embassy officer loitering outside the State Department. By tailing the diplomat, the FBI soon discovered he drove around the building every week in his official Russian embassy car, then got out and walked around carrying some kind of device with him. Investigators tell NBC News it appears the diplomat used a remote control to turn the bug on. It would then send sounds from the conference room to his car. He'd turn it off when he left. Deputy Attorney General Eric Holder says investigators are only now trying to assess the damage.
I think this is obviously a very serious breach that we have here.
After catching the diplomat yesterday, the U.S. has given the Russian embassy 10 days to get him out of the country. But former intelligence officials say even with the Cold War over, Russia still spies aggressively.
The Russian prime minister and president, they would have had to have known things like this were going on. A certain lack of care about what the United States thinks.
Investigators say they're testing the bug's battery life, trying to figure out how long it's been there. But the biggest mystery tonight is how the Russians managed to hide it so well in the first place. Pete Williams, NBC News at the State Department.
And that chill between Russia and the United States got a little deeper today with some strong, even threatening words from Boris Yeltsin. The Russian president lashed back at President Clinton's criticism of Moscow's all-out military assault on the Republic of Chechnya. It's a stronghold of Islamic militants, but now it's a humanitarian catastrophe. NBC's Dana Lewis tonight inside Chechnya.
Another bloody day in a war that began early this fall, now the 9th week of the Russian army bombing and shelling a Russian province. Moscow says it is trying to eradicate rebels, but so far 250,000 civilians have been driven from their homes. Thousands injured. The number of dead is unclear. Feeling the pressure of world condemnation, today President Boris Yeltsin angrily lashed out, even threatened President Clinton.
It seems Clinton has forgotten Russia is a great power, and it possesses a nuclear arsenal.
And now for the first time, the Russian military is trying to change perceptions, taking journalists on a choreographed tour inside Chechnya, the part they now control. They are trying to show they have restored stability to the area. Our guide, Commander Vladimir Kovrov, he brought us to a market with food trucked in from Russia. The general proudly showing off a school closed during the height of the fighting with Islamic rebels, now reopened.
We are helping life return to normal.
He is also hoping to show what he says is terrible environmental damage caused by the rebels.
The Russians claim Chechen fighters intentionally set oil wells on fire as they retreated. 5 major fires now burning out of control. An attempt to deny the Russian army fuel and the government revenue.
As for whether the Russian army can really make life better in the sector they control, for 9-year-old Malika, who fled Grozny, the Chechen capital, life does not seem to be returning to normal. She says she is frightened the bombs will come again, but she still wants to go home. But going home is not an option now. The Russians are leafleting the city, warning civilians to leave. A massive bombing is coming.
Heavy bombs and very powerful bombs that are in the Russian military inventory to force the fighters to flee Grozny and allow the Russians to raise the flag and declare a great victory.
Tonight they showed us how the Russian army is hastily erecting a tent city to house the expected exodus from Grozny. A flood tide, some estimate, could be as high as 40,000 people who will be running to escape Russian bombs. Dana Lewis, NBC News, Chechnya.
Still ahead tonight, punishment for a soldier who murders a gay soldier, and the victim's parents are speaking out.
We never dreamed that he would be killed by labeling, prejudiced, and hatred at home.
A life sentence and new questions about the U.S. military's don't ask, don't tell policy. NBC News in Depth tonight, our special series, Holiday Shopping Online, an adventure in the heart of Amazon.com.
I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy for the drive-thru. And I'm too sexy for my car seat. Too sexy for the groceries. Too sexy for the dry cleaning. Introducing the newly updated Camry. So stylish it could go to your head. I'm too sexy for the slow lane, too sexy for the neighbors, too sexy for the car wash, too sexy.
In this life, there's just no stopping. No break for a hacking cough, raw sore throat, fever. But there is TheraFlu. Fast, soothing hot liquid therapy. Maximum strength TheraFlu. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
So what'll happen to all this now that you're going virtual?
We're not going virtual.
Well, I read you're getting into internet trading, online cash management.
Well, we are, yes.
The end of an era.
Not at all. Online trading and the rest of it are simply new tools we're making available.
You don't have to sugarcoat it for me, but I must tell you, I'm going to miss our little chats.
Nelson, I'm not going away. The office isn't going away.
The coffee? The ticker?
Not going away.
What about the little bull?
Not going away.
Good.
While some folks couldn't sleep, you were peacefully sleeping thanks to Simply Sleep from the makers of Tylenol PM. It's non-habit forming and eases you into a restful night's sleep. Simply Sleep.
Who would you like to call? Frank?
The Samsung digital wireless phone featuring internet access and voice-activated dialing. Flip the phone, shout the name, and Samsung dials the number. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
Tomorrow, it's an amazing creation.
You didn't like that?
More human than machine. See how it could change your life. NBC Nightly.
New tonight at 6. Oregon has seen gun control initiatives before. This time, it's the gun owners backing it up. We'll tell you what they're proposing tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first. Meteorologist Matt Sapino, weeknights on News Channel 8.
Higher once again. The Dow finishing up almost 67 points today. NASDAQ up another 8 points. That's another record close. A few tech stocks stood out from the crowd, like Microsoft competitor VA Linux. In its initial public offering, the stock was priced at 30, but it ended the day at 239, up almost 700%. Amazon.com, which climbed 15 points, a jump of 17%, another banner day for the pioneer in online shopping. Tonight in our series, Holiday Online, NBC's Ann Thompson begins our in-depth reporting inside Amazon.com as it faces the huge Christmas rush.
Outside Atlanta, a workshop worthy of the North Pole. 800,000 square feet, shelves 40 feet high, over 1 million items, every light a gift. A high-tech distribution center, one of 9 worldwide. The real-world engines of the internet shopping phenomenon, Amazon.com.
We're trying to create something entirely new, something that the world hasn't seen before.
With a series of clicks, shoppers' orders transmitted to the nearest warehouse, put into tubs, traveling on 10 miles of conveyor belts, from boxing to packing to labeling. There's even gift wrapping, 2,500 miles of ribbon and 8 million square feet of paper, enough to cover the floor of the Pentagon. Each box with its own barcode, scanned a half-dozen times.
This tells us what our customer has ordered, where the customer would like the order shipped. If the customer selected it as a gift, it tells us what color gift wrap our customer would like.
So far, 13 million customers. By the end of this year, analysts say there could be 5 million more.
Total charge was $89.98.
Sales for the year predicted to be $1.5 billion.
The challenge for Amazon.com this holiday season almost as enormous as its distribution centers, to meet the expectations of customers and Wall Street.
But for Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, the main focus?
Customers, helping customers. Our customers. It's all about making customers happy.
Amazon is recognized throughout the industry as setting the standard for service online.
Tell me what I can do here.
Still, there are problems. Joe Gill of suburban Detroit bought books last Christmas and was disappointed.
I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and they never got delivered.
Supply, now an even bigger challenge with more product lines. Already, there are shortages. In the Pokemon section, 7 of the 8 video games back-ordered. Then there are the other guys.
People like eToys have really come into their own over the past year, and so there's just more formidable competition this year.
And there is the problem facing all online retailers.
If 100 people go out today to purchase a product on the web, it's likely that only 50 of them will actually be able to complete the transaction.
In fact, those failures will cost the industry dearly, as much as $7 billion in lost sales. So to make consumers comfortable, Amazon is using a nostalgic ad campaign.
I don't mean to flaunt it, but it's just the thing you wanted.
The hope to one day make surfing the net as traditional as walking the mall. Ann Thompson, NBC News, McDonough, Georgia.
Of course, for all of its breakthrough techniques and size, Amazon has yet to turn a profit. So volume alone is not enough, not for the company or for the consumer. In fact, it can be overwhelming. Now, there is a new way to cut through the clutter. NBC's Jim Avila reporting tonight, In Depth continuing.
Kevin Gorsh shops for a living, a professional personal shopper keeping track of his clients' likes and dislikes.
You have to have lots of energy, be creative.
And now the personal shopper idea has moved to the web. Computers tracking individual consumer buying patterns, telling online stores not only what you've bought in the past, but what you're likely to buy in the future.
Think of how neat it would be if you could walk into your Blockbuster with your card, swipe it through a machine, and it would say, hey, we've got 5 movies on the shelves that you would love.
How does the computer read your mind? The technology is called collaborative filtering. About half the big online stores are using it. Every time you buy something via computer, the store pairs you with another buyer with identical tastes. Here's how it works. You buy 10 wines from wine.com in Napa. The computer finds another buyer who bought those same 10 wines and then bought another one. The computer then suggests to you, you buy the same wine.
It really creates a kind of digital word of mouth for the people who are using our website.
The computer at wine.com becomes an expert on a product it cannot taste, recommending wines by tracking what people with the same taste just bought.
Some folks are absolute diehard Merlot fans, but may in fact discover that a little gem from Italy is also delicious.
Why is this system needed? Because, say marketing experts, there's just too much information on the internet and not enough wisdom.
This becomes a key tool to help the customer really more effectively browse by creating, in effect, a personalized browsing environment.
Technology that takes huge stores like Amazon.com or CD Now and personalizes them into small boutiques. A computerized personal shopper suggesting you buy something you might actually like. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
And up next here, Crime and Punishment, sentencing for the private convicted for the brutal murder of a gay soldier. Later, from the ashes, how Worcester's children are coping with one of life's hardest lessons.
Thinking of you.
It's revolutionary, state-of-the-art. It's the wind tunnel by Hoover that's self-propelled, so it almost works by itself. Tests show wind tunnel picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright.
Hoover, nobody
And you can get a wind tunnel that's self-propelled.
does it like you.
Wind tunnel by Hoover.
This year, things are going to be different because your doctor can prescribe Tamiflu. Ask your doctor for information on Tamiflu and call this number or visit our website. This year, you and your doctor have Tamiflu.
Did you see this? That's very interesting.
Yeah, look at that one.
Mm-hmm, looks good.
What about that one?
That's a good one.
So, what do you think?
Let's eat them.
Hershey's Pot of Gold. Not a bad one in the box.
This is how hundreds of thousands of smokers have quit. It's the gradual step-down method, and you get it only from Nicoderm CQ. Store brand patches have only one step. You can't step down your dose. Nicoderm CQ has 3. You step down gradually, and gradual is the method doctors prefer. Quitting's important. Choose carefully. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Every year, LensCrafters runs Gift of Sight missions to bring sight to needy people around the world.
We change lives with these glasses.
And the more we collect, the more people we can help.
Please bring us your used glasses today.
This delicious green bean casserole
is not the only way to enjoy French's French fried onions. Even standard spuds become a savory side dish.
Our very own cook.com.
Smile, you've got French's.
Sign here? Sorry, I only have a minute. In so many ways, in so many places, it keeps a million disasters a day from happening. It's like having a life insurance policy you never knew you had. Gotta go. It's plastics. There's my good girl. Plastics make it possible.
Tomorrow on Today, our winter concerts continue live outside with Leanne Rimes. Brought to you by the incredible edible egg, only on Today.
Start the millennium with NBC News.
A Marine helicopter on a routine exercise crashed into the Pacific off San Diego tonight. 18 Marines were on board. 11 have been rescued, and search teams from the Coast Guard, Navy, and other Marine units are searching for the others. No word yet on why the CH-46 Sea Knight went down. At Fort Campbell, Kentucky today, there was sentencing for an Army private convicted of beating a fellow soldier to death with a baseball bat. A case that's getting a great deal of attention because the murdered soldier was gay, and critics say his death is a stark example of how the military policy of don't ask, don't tell doesn't work. Here's NBC's Lisa Myers.
After an emotional apology to the victim's family, the 18-year-old private convicted of murdering a gay soldier gets life in prison with the possibility of parole in 10 years. Private Calvin Glover says he's deeply sorry for killing Private First Class Barry Winchell, admitting he beat him to death with a baseball bat while he slept in his barracks. Glover tells the court, quote, "If I had acted as half the man, even half the soldier as Barry was, he'd be with us right now." Glover blames the crime on the fact that he was drunk. Prosecutors blame it on his hatred of homosexuals. The incident reigniting controversy over the Pentagon's don't ask, don't tell policy, where gays are allowed to serve as long as they keep their sexual orientation private.
Don't ask, don't tell, don't pursue did not protect our son.
Today, Winchell's devastated parents say that policy must end.
We knew Barry could be deployed and come into harm's way while fighting for our country. We never dreamed that he would be killed by labeling, prejudiced, and hatred at home.
A group representing gay soldiers calls the military, quote, an accomplice in the murder. Trial testimony reveals that commanders knew Winchell was being harassed for 4 months and did nothing to stop it.
Soldiers out there are facing exactly the same kind of harassment that Barry Winchell faced, and they're asking themselves, am I next?
However, the Pentagon spokesman denies any escalating harassment of gays.
I don't think that you can declare the policy a failure based on one gruesome murder at one Army post.
Today, Senate candidate Hillary Clinton broke with the White House, says she'll fight to allow gays to serve openly.
I don't believe don't ask, don't tell has worked. And I don't believe it is ultimately the policy that we should have in our military.
Tonight, the president's spokesman says Mr. Clinton mostly agrees with his wife, but that given political reality, the most effective response to the murder is better enforcement of the policy banning harassment of gays. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
I'll be right back with a look at how the children of Worcester, Massachusetts are saying goodbye to their fallen heroes.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila. You know, your home is your sanctuary, the one place you and your children should feel safe. But there can be dangers, too, and some of them are not so obvious. Improperly wired outlets that can electrocute, water coolers that can burn, household cleaners that can kill, lead paint that can poison. To find out about them, call HUD.
For a free brochure on HUD's healthy homes and FHA loans, just call. HUD and FHA are on your side.
The Spot Lifter is Bissell's Wash It Down, Lift It Up, Get On With Your Life cordless deep cleaner. Life's messy. Clean it up.
This holiday, over 7 million pets will be homeless. But when you buy a limited edition PetSmart ornament for $4.99, you can help. All proceeds go to PetSmart charities to benefit local homeless animals. Make a pet's holiday wish come true at PetSmart.
Labor of love took on a whole new meaning when Kyle was born. 12 hours of labor.
One of life's most joyful moments can also be one of its most painful. But take comfort, as so many women have, in Tylenol, the pain reliever doctors and hospitals choose most.
Come meet your little brother.
Hello.
Tylenol, take comfort in our strength.
Good morning, Mr. Schwab.
Morning.
Introducing Velocity from Schwab, the new incredibly powerful online trading software system. With the power to place multiple orders at one time, it's fast and smart. And, if you'll pardon the expression, cool.
We never thought we'd use OnStar for snakes.
I just hate snakes.
Yeah, traveling through Arizona, we blew a front tire. It shot off the road, and I looked down at the ground. It is crawling with rattlesnakes.
It was unbelievable.
I pushed the OnStar button. Within seconds, the OnStar advisor pinpointed our location and sent a tow truck.
Call the paramedics.
Yeah, and kept talking, because we
hate snakes.
Yeah.
The one-touch connection to people who can help.
OnStar.
Call 1-800-OnStar-7.
An unlikely heartthrob and the crippling secret that threatens his career. The rise, fall, and rebirth of Donny Osmond.
Headliners and Legends with Matt Lauer, tonight on MSNBC.
Journey through the vast Arabian Desert. Feel a scorpion sting. And scan the Rockies for a man-eater. Explore this weekend on CNBC.
Now the family. Tonight for the city of Worcester, Massachusetts. This has been a very difficult week with the loss of those 6 firemen, but it's also been a time to learn about the real meaning of sacrifice, the real meaning of hero. Here's NBC's Rahema Ellis.
As thousands of firefighters repeat the solemn tradition, saluting their own today, some of Worcester's children watch it on television.
It's amazing how all the firefighters and everyone's so close together.
11-year-old Jim McNamara discovering new heroes.
Sports athletes bounce the ball or hit a baseball, catch a football, and heroes risk their lives every day.
Even though all schools closed today, Forest Grove Middle School invited neighbors and kids in to watch the memorial. The principal thought this time and this place presents a special chance for the kids to learn one of life's hardest lessons.
I felt sad. They could sense the grief, the mourning, that something tragic actually had happened, and nobody would be coming back from it.
What makes this so special for students at this school is that 2 of the men who died in the fire were also students here when they were teenagers. The boyhood pictures of Joseph McGurk and James Lyons hang on the school's bulletin board. The pictures of them today make 8th grader Megan Alessi think about those close to her.
To appreciate my family more and to realize how lucky I am to have them in my life.
The kids also think about fallen firefighters Jeremiah Lucy and Timothy Jackson, who supervise the monthly fire drills at their school.
You walk down the stairs the next fire drill and they're not there. And then you realize it, but while they were here, you never really acknowledged them as much.
But 8-year-old Jack Ham acknowledges them today.
I learned that firefighters are heroes, teachers are heroes too, police are heroes too.
This tragedy making an impression on so many children tonight, and the teachers hope, despite the loss, a lesson learned in sacrifice and heroism. Rahema Ellis, NBC News.